And he went out from thence and came into his own country, and his disciples follow him. This is the Gospel of Mark, chapter number 6. After all of the things that took place in chapter 5 with the casting out of the devils out of the one called Legion, the healing of the ruler of the synagogue's daughter, and of course the woman who was healed of the issue of blood. All of that happened in chapter 5, and now he moves on to his own country. And says that as his custom was, he went to the synagogue, and he was to speak that day. And his disciples, they were there with him. You remember the last time that we have recorded when he first began to call his disciples, this is early on in the book of Mark, it was just Peter, James, and John, and Andrew. And they said he spoke with one with authority and not like the scribes. And so now those who from his own country that heard Jesus preach for the first time, they had some questions. And they said this. He said, from whence has this man these things? Second question was, what wisdom is this which is given to us that even such mighty works are wrought by his hands? Now, these questions, as I look at them and I've read them and I've kind of pondered on them, speaks to me of a spirit. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about the Holy Spirit, or I'm not talking about even a demonic spirit. I'm just talking about a spirit, an attitude. Let's put it that way. These people who had known Jesus all of his life, matter of fact, in the next verse, it even says, is this not the carpenter's son? Have we not known him since he was just a child? See, here's the thing about it, Tyson, that I understand this. I come from the great state of Kentucky. I'm the baby boy of 4 brothers. And when I go back up to Kentucky and I get around my brothers, guess what? I'm still the baby. I'm a little old to be a baby these days, but nevertheless, I'll always be the baby, and I'll always be treated as such, and I've just come to accept it. Strange things like that happen when you go back home to your own country. Now, again, when you read this account and you get down toward the end of it, and it says that Jesus could do no mighty works there. You know why? Because there was no faith. You see, faith drives everything when it comes to causing the gospel to go forth. Faith is what it takes in order for miracles to happen. Faith is what it takes for the hand of God to move and to bring forth the miraculous. But here in this town, they just couldn't get past the past. And faith was not brought forth. And so the gospel was not expanded. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel of the radio broadcast.